There's two things that are really challenging for many of you when it comes to moods and thoughts in this whole thing. And those two things are, number one, your dark side, your negative side. You just don't want to face it. So you run from it. You don't want to embody it. And I'm sorry, but you cannot just embody the light. You cannot just embody the light. There's a term that we use on the other side. It's called, oddly enough, it's called anost. It's like nost, but kind of nost. And it means that there's a bias towards the light. You're trying to be the light. Not going to work. And you're trying to be happy and pleasant and the light and it's a spiritual pacifier. And it's just not going to work. And every master has realized that along the way. It's like, oh, crap. I am the dark also. As a matter of fact, there is kind of an interesting social phenomena that's just starting. And you should know exactly where it came from. It's called endarkment. Endarkment. You know, we have enlightenment. There's a new psychiatric movement going on called endarkment. Interesting. I wonder where that came from. Because so much of the mood factor is moving away from the dark. In other words, I'm in a mood, it's dark. There's something I don't like, I'm going to move away from it. So there's this tendency to move away from everything dark about yourself, including all the memories you've had of the past, in your past, in this lifetime, and either blotting them out, pushing them away, trying to fix them, trying to process them. No, my friends, drink them in. The dark, the light, all of it. Because if you're in balance to this light, you're going to learn some interesting things the hard way, the painful way. You don't get to enlightenment through the light. You also get, it is also about drinking in the dark. Now, right away, if I drink in, breathe in my darkness, aren't I accepting the bad things about myself? Well, yeah, kind of in a way, but they really weren't bad. Next big hurdle is like, oh my gosh, if I go into endarkment, accepting the dark, what if I become evil? Evil. And look at it. If I could have the pen here. Look at it. The word evil is live, and it's the veil also. So see, this is Satan. In English, for those of you who are not English speakers, but in English, an interesting play on the words here. So you say, what if I go to endarkment, allowing my darkness? Now, what's the darkness? Now, Tobias told you years ago, it's the things you didn't love about yourself. It's your divinity. The things you didn't allow about yourself. But there's this tremendous fear. What if I go evil? And what is evil? Well, people will say it's darkness. It's, this is philosophical more than anything, but evil is simply a mass consciousness expression of suppressed darkness of the individuals. So many individuals will suppress their personal darkness. Well, this kind of goes into mass consciousness, kind of into the big matrix. And it ferments there, and it gets really stinky, and it's gaseous, and it explodes. A person will pick that up, individual, and become evil. But in a way, they're just an expression of a darkness within all people. It's not necessarily serving all people to have this one person act out evil, but that's exactly what's happening. Somebody just gets kind of like they get into darkness on steroids, and they go evil. So the question is, what if you darken as well as enlighten? And will you go evil? What is that? That's a thought. So I ask you to feel into that rather than think about it. What if you also allow what you would have called the dark? Whether it's your memories, whether it's your feelings, even this irritation that's so prevalent right now, is frustration, is a little bit of darkness, kind of a gray. We can laugh about it, but if it goes too much further, it could be pretty dark. So what if you endarken? In other words, allow it to be able to say safely, I don't even want my dog with me. I mean, if you put that in the newspaper in the headline, you'd be right up there with Don Sterling. I mean, people would think, what is wrong with this lady? She doesn't even want her dog. Is this what the Crimson Circle teaches? They can't stand other people? They find other people repulsive? Yeah, actually, and particularly journalists who write stupid stories like that. Now, this leads to one more thing, and this is going to be a difficult one. What we're talking about here is being conscious of what have been the limitations so that you can really kind of glide into freedom.